Yo, what's up, guys? I want to do a quick review on a movie I checked out recently from Vinegar Syndrome called Star Time. And this came out in '91, and it's only 84 minutes, so it is a quick view. But essentially, this was a really low-budget film, I think straight to video in the '90s. And it has a certain vibe to it that I really dig. It's almost like a really late night, like you'd find on like Cinemax, not like adult films, but like just a really cheap, low rent '90s movies you'd find, and it almost has like a really dreamlike vibe to it, like something you'd remember half asleep or something. But essentially, Michael St. Gerard, he plays like a really weirdo kind of dude, and he's obsessed with TV. He's obsessed with this show, and this his favorite show ends up getting canceled, so he goes to go kill himself. And he ends up running into this dude who basically says, "I'm going to make you famous. You just got to carry out all these murders." And then you have Michael St. Gerard, and he's going out and he's killing all these people so he could become famous. And there's just something not quite right with the dude. I mean, I'll read the back of the case real quick, too, to give you more of an idea, because it is a really strange, really, like, artsy kind of movie. Like, this is almost like a Hollywood, not really even Hollywood, it's really David Lynch feeling. But it says, Henry Pinkle, which is Michael St. Gerard, lives for television. The world of make-believe consumes his every waking moment, but when his favorite show is canceled, Henry is driven over the edge and decides to commit suicide. Then he meets Sam Bones, a mysterious agent who promises Henry happiness and stardom if he follows his instructions, engaging him in an increasingly downward spiral of brutality and murder. Hailed by the LA Times as an impressively ambitious and potent first feature, Alexander Cassini's Star Time is an angst-ridden study of violent psychosis and media obsession, pronounced by surrealist visuals and gory violence. Vinegar Syndrome presents this unique art house horror film on Blu-ray, newly restored from its original camera negative, and presented in its never-before on-home video original director's cut. Now, there's some really cool imagery in here. I really dig the opening credits. It has a really '90s art aesthetic to it. There's a room where there's like a bunch of TVs lined up that looks really cool. Well done. I mean, you could tell this movie's really cheap, but it does add to the whole just kind of weird vibe to it. And the mask is like this baby mask in it, but he like cuts the mouth part out of it, which you could see. And it just looks like really strange and just a little eerie or whatever. But I do recommend this if you're into slashers or '90s films. I mean, this is a really obscure, artsy slasher, but it is a slasher nonetheless, and it should be in any slasher fans collection for sure. And this is the reverse cover, just him with the axe, and it says Star Time, standing in LA. And this slipcover was limited, so you can't get the slipcover anymore, but you would get it like this. But I definitely think it's one of Vinegar Syndrome's more interesting, unique titles. I definitely think you should definitely pick it up, just because I'm a little biased. I'm a big fan of '90s horror and slashers in general, and this was just a really entertaining film. It's worth it just for the performance of the Michael St. Gerard alone. Just there's something really childlike, like an innocence, kind of weird vibe to him. It's really bizarre. I couldn't even compare it to anybody. It's like Tommy Wiseau, but not as weird as Tommy Wiseau. But it's almost like a Wings Hauser kind of vibe to it. That's the perfect actor I'd compare him to. Is like Wings Hauser, just really quirky and goofy. But yeah, really had a good time with this. Now the special features, you get a commentary track with the director, and this is restored in 2K from a 35mm original negative. Shooting start time, interview with the cinematographer, and that's interesting because the cinematography to me is what makes this film stand out from the rest of low budget straight to video kind of trash that came out in the '90s. The great performance, a short film by the director, original theatrical trailer, reverse cover art, and English subtitles, which is always a good thing. But yeah, this is region A, B, and C, so any region can get it. Definitely pick this up if you could find it for like $15. But anyways, guys, I'll leave it at that. Peace.